We are in preparation for Kartik Vrata. We heard about diet and Niyam Seva, regulated devotion, and yesterday we also heard the prayer of Satyavrata Muni in the forum of Damodar Ashtaka. In this way, following him, we have to pray to Damodar Bhagavan during Kartik. And already I mentioned the book Bhajan Rahasya of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is followed during Kartik. So Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he wrote one introduction so that we can understand what bhajan in this context here means. So Rahasya Pragbandha, prior obligatory regulation for being eligible to realize ontological mystery of bhajan. We have to understand first. Eligible means qualified. So Shri Bhajan Rahasya book is compiled by revered Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He has shown a few hints about his own mode of worship in the form of a book as an instance to his own devoted followers. I, being an insignificant person, observed him a few years before, overwhelmed with transcendental divine love, while relishing several scriptural verses incessantly in this way. Prabhupada was observing Bhaktivinoda Thakur how he's relishing these verses. There are stages of advancement of pure devotion. First stage, Kanishta. Second, higher stage, Madhyam, middle. And third, highest stage, Uttam. Accurate understanding of the words Kanishta, Madhyam and Uttam is necessary for proper realization of the ontological mystery of bhajan as expounded or interpreted by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. This is a note by our Gurudev in this Kartik handbook so that we can understand. Kanishta Adhikari means one who has faith in deity of Krishna, that Krishna is Supreme Lord is one. He is only worshipping Krishna. He is not worshipping any demigods or nothing. Only he is worshipping Krishna. But his realization is not so accurate, so advanced. He does not have faith, proper faith in Vaishnavas, personal associates of Krishna. He does not understand that Krishna is never alone, like king is never without his ministers and soldiers and bodyguards and all, and queens. That is his paraphernalia. So Krishna is worshipable, and his paraphernalia is equally as worshipable. Kanishta Adhikari does not yet understand this, but Madhyam understands. That is why Madhyam, he has love for Krishna, he has friendship and service to devotees, and he is merciful to living entities in two ways. Those who are open, he will explain to them about service to Krishna, and those who are totally against, he will ignore them so as not to give them scope to further advance their offenses by uselessly arguing. So he will ignore, neglect, avoid them. But those who are sincere aspirants, he will help them. Then Uttamadhikari, his realization is total. He sees Krishna in everywhere, and all are serving Krishna directly or indirectly. And that Uttamadhikari, as we will see in Upadeshamrita, Kanishta is one who, with faith, is chanting Harinam. Madhyam is constantly chanting Harinam. And Uttam is one who is firmly established in his eternal identity in relation to Krishna in Goloka, and his mentally means inside, means on transcendental platform, he is serving Radha Krishna in Vrindavan from his own transcendental spiritual realized form, Siddhadeha or Sarup. So these three we have to know. There are different degrees of advancement in devotion. Provision for archan, that is, worship of deities, is recommended in the domain of pure devotion in consideration of the eligibility of the devoutness of Kanishta devotee. First advanced stage of devotion. Many votaries, being unable to reflect upon the distinction between archan and bhajan, indicate the words to be same, as archan is bhajan. When bhajan is possible on the basis of 9 forms of devotion, as archan is included within it, archan should be accepted as bhajan. That is their idea. Total bhajan and practice of one form of bhajan, at least of the aforesaid first advanced stage of devotion, should not be considered to indicate the same significance. By the grace of Gurudev, we could understand, because he explained to us. We know Prahlad Maharaj mentioned 9 forms of devotion: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, those 9. So Archan is one there. And the word bhajan, in general sense, it means worship. So those who are Kanishtadikaris or some votaries who are unable to understand what Bhaktivinoda Thakur meant by bhajan in this context, they say, why Archan cannot be bhajan? It is one of the 9 forms of devotion, worship. So Archan is also bhajan. And it is recommended for Kanishtadikari to do Archan. So that is their idea. But total bhajan, which is explained in this book, as we will see further, total bhajan and practice of one form of bhajan, means archan, at least of the aforesaid means of a Kanishtadikari, these two are not one and the same. What Kanishtadikari by his own conception is doing archan, we may say that is also worship, that is bhajan, that is okay. But not in this context what Bhaktivinoda Thakur here meant by bhajan rahasya, secret of bhajan. Now it will be explained. There are 2 kinds of worship. 1. Worship of deities with the help of articles and with reverence is termed as archan. And 2. Service of the object of worship with the feeling of eternal, sweet, delightful relation, viz., delightful relation between devotee and devoted as bosom friends, sweet parental affection, without the obstruction of fear and reverence, etc., are referred to as prema. There is a gulf of difference between these 2 ways of service of the object of worship. Archan is connected with the worship of deity with reverence. Without sweet, delightful, eternal relation, there cannot be total service of the highest objective, Supreme Lord. So here, one is with awe and reverence, knowing that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Lord of all lords, creator, source, everything, all this is there. I am his eternal servant. I should serve him. That is my duty. Otherwise, I will have to suffer. It's my duty to serve him. So, if this conception is there, and one is worshipping Supreme Lord with the articles of this world, like flowers, incense, lamp, food, all, you can go up to 16 articles, and ghee lamp like this, with this awe and reverence. He is Supreme Lord, I am his eternal servant. It is my duty to serve him. Otherwise, I will have to suffer. We can also say to this type of worship as Vaidhi Bhakti, because it is done from this conception and under the guidance of scripture and the Guru, and with awe and reverence. And here, as we will see further, he is not yet liberated soul, and his offering, so this is called archan. But if someone already realized by accomplishment of Vaidhi Bhakti, when he got the ultimate fruit of awakening, that eternal sweet delightful relation, means Krishna is my husband or beloved, Krishna is my son, Krishna is my friend. Here there is no awe and reverence. Jashoda sometimes slaps Krishna. Nanda Maharaj orders Krishna to bring his shoes, and Krishna is putting the shoes on his head. You will not find Hanuman giving his shoes on the head of Ramchandra. That is not possible. Or that is offense. Or in Vaikuntha, some servant will put his own shoes on Krishna, on Narayan's head. Not possible. That is total offense. So here in Archan and in Vaidhi Bhakti, there is consideration of Seva Aparat, 33 or some Shastra even more. We have to avoid. We have to do actions which are for the satisfaction of Krishna. And we have to give up those actions which are displeasing to Krishna. They are called as aparadas. Radharani means pleasing Krishna. Aradhana, worshipping, doing what is pleasing. Aparada means just the opposite, but that which will displease Krishna. If you bow down with one hand to Diti, that is displeasing to Krishna. If you show your back to Diti sitting, showing your back, that is aparat. It will displease Krishna. If you eat in front of open Diti, it will displease Krishna. So these actions we have to give up. But when one already awakened that sweet, delightful relation, they are not saying Krishna is God and I am his eternal servant. No, he's my beloved. It is my desire. I want to serve him. They're serving him. Cowherd boys, they're climbing on Krishna's shoulder. And in Vaidhi Bhakti, in Archan, one seva aparadis, you should not offer remnants to Krishna. That is aparad. You will go to hell. Or sin by dog. Bhoga, which you want to offer, sin by dog, you cannot offer. Not touched, sin by dog. Or some, there are many, maybe if we will have time, we'll go through those seva paradas. So we have to avoid. But cowherd boys, they will first taste that fruit from the tree, whether it is sweet or sour or what. When they see it is very sweet, oh, very good. Krishna, you take it. because their only target is to satisfy Krishna, and they're on that level. They already awakened that raga, they already awakened that prem. So for them, that is possible, but not for those who are on Vaidhi or Archan platform. So that is called prema. And there is a difference between these two ways of worship, of Archan and of this prema, also called total service. Now further, worship of deity, Supreme Lord, in consideration of his appearance in this world, with articles and reverence, is termed Archan. Although, in spite of cognition of the dimness of the scorching rays of reverential majestic worship in this world, excellence of the sweetness of the service of the deity with delightful, charming love relation, like pleasant moonlight, cannot be denied. A brief method of worship, Archan, is annexed to the appendix of the book. The underlying implication of bhajan is stated in the body of the book. Relation with gross and subtle bodies is more or less involved in Archan. While in the domain of bhajan, the devotee is directly in contact with the object of devotion, Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who is beyond gross and subtle bodies and is the indwelling monitor residing in the hearts of all embodied souls. So, Krishna appears in this world. This is one of his appearance. One avatar is called Archa Avatar. He appears in the form of deity himself, doing such kind of pastime for giving us scope of service on that level. He will not say anything. There are some regulations how you serve, but he will not complain or say anything like this. At least not to Kanishta Adhikaris. To other, he may speak like to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami offering chapati, dry chapati, because this is what he got from Brajavasis. Then Krishna, after some time, told him, at least you should give some salt also there. And Sanatana Goswami became angry. And then you will want sabji, and then you will want that, and so many things. I have no time to give such type of service to you. He was speaking this to Madan Mohan. That is of second type. So, Archan for Kanishta Dikaris means Kanishta Dikari is not yet liberated from his gross and subtle body conception. But he has faith in Krishna and in his form as deity. So he is serving this deity with the articles of this world. We have to offer all the articles of this world because we are attached and we think I am the enjoyer. We have to offer those articles for the service of Krishna, then we will get attachment to him. So that is Archan for Kanishta Dikaris. And with mood of awe and reverence. His master, I am servant, and I have to be very careful not to commit any offense to him, and I should be very careful in service of him. So this is the mood. But those who were mentioned before, those who already realized their eternal sweet delightful relation. Krishna is my master. In Brajadham also master, sometimes they will slap Krishna. They are engaged by Jashoda to massage Krishna or to clean his cloth or something. Dasya Rasa Bhaktas in Vrindavan, Raktaka, Patraka, etc. So they, when they are massaging Krishna, and Krishna is sometimes naughty, so they will also slap Krishna, although they are in Dasya Rasa. But Hanuman will not slap Ramachandra, never. Or some servant in Vaikuntha, not possible. But they will, because they have prema. So in all these four asas, or even Shantarasa in Vrindavan, cows, buffaloes, and horn, flute, Jamuna, trees, all these. they're also serving in Shantaras. Flowers, creepers, leaves, all. So in any of that sweet relation where there is no majestic aspect, Krishna is God, one who realizes this, he will also do archan in this world, because now he is in this world, and he will also do archan, as I told, like Sanatan Goswami. He will speak with Diti directly and quarrel with him, or like this. So they will also do archan, but their archan is of different level than Kanishta. It is like there is a king and he has a queen and children and everything. So sometimes king is in the court with his ministers and servants and everything. He's in majestic aspect. And when he's in his own private chambers, he's with his wife and children, and wife can slap king, or child can climb on king in that private, but not in the court. That is not allowed there. There is a protocol there. So, but although there is this some scorching rays of reverential worship, because he is in the form of deity in this world, there is some scorching rays, some awe and reverence is still there because he is in the form of deity, but also those devotees, they who have that love relation, they also get some pleasant moonlight when they are serving the deity. They are serving in different mood. Like there are some servants and ministers of king, they will serve in awe and reverence. But queen will serve in different mood. Even if they're in court, she will see him in different way as others are seeing. And she will serve in that way, although there is some majesty, but still some pleasant moonlight will also be there. So this also we see. That is why in the end of this book, Bhajan Rahasya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also gave guidelines how to do archan for those who are on that level. And the underlying implication of bhajan is, that means total bhajan, is in the book. And here again it is explained. When one is involved in archan as a kanishta adhikari with awe and reverence, he is related to gross and subtle bodies more or less. Depends how advanced he is. But one who is in the domain or the level of bhajan, here means on totally transcendental platform with sweet, intimate, delightful relation, they're totally devoted, total bhajan, totally devoted to Krishna. They are in direct contact. They are on transcendental platform, and Krishna is also transcendental. So on that transcendental, fully transcendental platform, no relation with gross and subtle bodies and matter and articles. No, they're in that Siddha Deha, and they're serving Krishna in Lila. A true devoted soul is well established in his real self and is completely liberated from all non-eternal material denominations, means all worldly egos, he is free of that, beyond that, and he is in full realization who he is in relation to Krishna, not as a servant of God, but as beloved to Krishna or friend or something. He realized his eternal Swarup in relation to Braja Krishna. He is established and he is free from all worldly egos. His cognitions of the sense organs are spiritual. He is observing or seeing everything through his spiritual senses, transcendental. those eyes he opened, not material eyes, those transcendental eyes, beyond the thought of material range, that is beyond this material perception, fully transcendent. As they are always directly in contact with absolute knowledge, as Krishna, who is transcendental, they are always engaged in transcendental service of the divinity. Krishna is eternal, I am eternal, I am his eternal servant in one of those five. So service is eternal. They are constantly serving Krishna, constantly, 24 hours. Speciality of the instructive object of Guru is considered rahasya, or mystery. It cannot be known to all, which can only be comprehended by persons who have got firm faith and confidence. Those who have firm faith and confidence with Guru and fully submitted to him, then Guru, when sees that they are now eligible for that, he will tell. He will reveal. Like in school, you are in first class, your teacher is teaching A, B, C, D, all this, then there is exam. If you pass exam, there is no need to tell Guru, now you teach me further. Guru means teacher already knows what is the next lesson. You need not tell to Guru what to teach you, because you don't know. He knows. We may theoretically read many books and Raga, Nuga, all this we may read, and we go, Guru, give me Siddha Deho. Once it happened, someone came to our Gurudev, one devotee, you give me this Siddha Deho. You tell me what is my soul. And Guru said, this is not intellectual knowledge. Some theoretical these things. When Krishna will descend to a surrendered soul and will remove all darkness, like sun lights up everything during daytime, then you will see yourself and all others in proper perspective. It has to, you cannot get it in this way. You have to submit for the service of Krishna. Then when he will appear, then you can see everything. The Guru will appear. Then that devotee still he was not satisfied. It happened in Govardhan 2005. I was sitting by Gurudev. Then no, you please tell me, you tell me what is my sarup, what is my Siddha Deho, all this. Then Gurudev said, when you will want that, then you will get it. Then that devotee he remained silent. Because Gurudev, by his own realization, he made him understand that what is the real Siddha Deho, that is service of Krishna. It is not that you want that real thing. You want some information, something to think, yes, now I know, or to speak to others, you know, now I know, and like this. You are not actually wanting service. So how you will get service? So like that, when we are in first class in school, we don't know what is in second class, practically. We may try to read some books and think, yes, I know. So Guru, now you teach me this. Or Guru, give me Siddha Deho. But actually you cannot know what is in reality. So one time, one Vaishnava was pressing me that I should go to Gurudev and ask my Siddha Deho, Swarup. Then I said, already Gurudev told it will be revealed by through surrender. Then the Vaishnava said, yes, Guru will reveal. So you have to go to him. So once I got chance in private and I told Gurudev that this, even before I could ask, Gurudev already knew. He said, what you want to know? What you want to know? And he already starts speaking that verse. Sarva padivi nirmuktam tatparatana nirmalam. Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatam Vinam Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Definition of bhakti is this. You have to be free from all false egos, gross and subtle, and you have to know that you are of Krishna. You belong to him. And he explained something, Gurudev. So then I told him, then he said, there is no need to ask Gurudev this. You have to do what Guru says. Now we are not eligible for that, for Raganuga, because we are full of anarthas and all this. We have no rag, we have no actual strong desire to serve Krishna. We are full of anarthas, so many, and offense, all these things there. So now we have to do according to regulations of Guru and Shastra to do. This is the service of Krishna, this you should avoid, this is displeasing to Krishna, you should not do this, all this in a regulated manner, and Shravan Kirtan and all this. When you will clear all your anarthas, then Guru will know. Like in school, teacher, this I am telling, Gurudev did not at that time say, but in school, when you pass the exam of first class, then Guru will know, he will give you lesson for second class. No need for me to go to Guru, you give me teaching for second class. That is Guru's duty. So like that, Gurudev explained to me, when you will be free from anarthas, and that strong desire to serve Krishna will come, then your Gurudev, in his spiritual form, he will come to you and give you all this. He will come to you. You need not ask him. That is, he will come and give you this. So you have to be patient and do what Guru says. Like in school, now I'm telling, the Guru did not say, but I understood by his grace. When I passed the exam, first class, do I have to tell to teacher, you give me next lesson? No, Guru knows what is next lesson. And he will give me. That is his duty. It is Guru's duty to bring me to Krishna, to go Vrindavan. So he knows how, what is the path to go there. Can I know? If I know, then why do I need Guru? Then I may read all books, but I don't know actually. I may think, yes, this is the Deho and this is my dress, and so I have to ask Gurudev, but I have my own conceptions about this. The dress of Gopi is transcendental dress. It is nothing to do with this material world. That dress is non-different from that Gopi. In this world, dress and the person are different, but there, the dress is non-different. It is transcendental. So what I will understand with my material conceptions and experiences, all this, and I will read some books, high-class books I will read, I will think now I know everything, and I will say to Guru. But our Gurudev to explain to that devotee, you don't want that, the actual thing. If you would want that actual thing, then you would get it. But we want some other things, not the service of Krishna, actually. So Gurudev explained to me, now you have to do in a regulated manner. And when you will come to that platform by this practice, then your Guru, he did not say I, but he said your Guru will appear to you in his own spiritual transcendental form and will give you that. What is your service? What is this? Then you can enter into that. So here, mystery or rahasya will be given by Guru to a person who has firm faith and confidence, means he's following Guru, he's surrendering. Then to such a person, Guru will know, now I have to engage him in that. Like when you come to temple, first you will hear Harikatha and like this. Then when there is some inclination to serve, then they will give you some service. First something little, you clean the temple, or you wash these plates or something, then more and more service you will get. So like that, first we have to do Vaidi, and even in Vaidi, first we'll get Harinam, you chant Harinam. And then some other service like this will come. And when you will be eligible, qualified, then Guru will give you that internal seva also in Lila of Radha Krishna. But when you will be qualified, not theoretically imaginary as is sometimes done, but real thing. But for real thing, you have to be qualified by going through all the steps necessary, as Goswamis, they have explained, 6 Goswamis on the order of Maha. Truly following the path of bona fide sadhus, association of whom can be achieved only by the fruits of serving the third advanced stage of highest devotees, who have received instructions of Krishna Bhakti after practicing the list of sadhana bhakti mentioned in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is actual bhajan rahasya, mystery of bhajan. So when one follows those devotees who have received instruction of Krishna Bhakti in Vrindavan, not Lakshmi Narayan, it open reverence, but of Krishna, they are Uttamadikaris, they have realized their sweet internals, that sweet delightful relation, eternal, I am Krishna's friend. They're well established that in their that ultimate identity. Following them, that is actually bhajan rahasya, mystery of bhajan. Means that is bhajan which is described here in this book on that transcendental platform, raga mark, raga bhakti. That is the point of this book, bhajan rahasya. So that if you serve the Uttamadikaris, you will find in Upadeshamrita, Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttam, how you have to respect. Uttam is one who is well established. Madhyam, high class Madhyam, higher stages of Madhyam, he may get some glimpses of this. But Uttamadikari is firmly established in that. He must be on platform of bhav, as we will see later in this book. If we serve such devotees, then by gradually qualifying ourselves, following them in their real identity, like I am following as Rupa Manjari is serving. That is called bhajan rahasya. Rupa Manjari is serving Radha Krishna in her own way. So I am attracted to that type of service. So following her order and being engaged in that way for the service of Radha, that is bhajan rahasya. Because they got instructions of Krishna Bhakti after practicing the list of sadhana bhakti, those 64 kinds of sadhana bhakti they accomplished. So after that, they got that internal service in the lila. So following that service in the lila, that is bhajan rahasya. Desireless, modest, devotee. So all this we have to. Desireless, no other, only service of Krishna. Modest, he will always be, not many things, modest, devout, fully devoted. Devotee, being fully liberated from worldly entanglement, is completely released from the association of uncongenial persons, disinclined to serve Krishna, and entrapped with ulterior desires. So he is totally aloof from all bad association of those who have no inclination to serve Krishna, and they have so many other desires. He never, now it will be said, just then only, when he is fully liberated from worldly entanglement, just then only, total service or service of 8 periods of the pastimes of Sri Krishna can be manifest in him. As I told, Radha Krishna there 24 hours doing their lila. And it is divided into 8 parts. Whole day. So only one who is liberated and attained that his own spiritual form, in him that Radha Krishna Lila will be manifest in him. And he has no liking. Yes. Pure devotee who is inclined to serve Shri Krishna always dislikes the association of enjoyers of earthly pleasures, bhogis, and renouncers, tyagis, as he knows the association of such non-devotees is an obstacle to the achievement of his objective. They have other targets. They want to enjoy this world or they want to renounce to get liberation. But there is no inclination to serve Krishna. So he has no business with them. He dislikes their association. He likes the association of pure devotees. Such karmis, yanis, or persons of ulterior desires have got no liking for bhajan rahasya. Bhajan rahasya means about service of Krishna. What kind of service? 24-hour service of Krishna, very intensely in Vrindavan. That is very intense. In Vaikuntha, there is also 24-hour service because they are already liberated from this world. But in Vrindavan, it is more intense. And according to the degree of rasa, it is more intense. All are serving Krishna, all are fully satisfied, and Krishna is satisfied. But if you compare from neutral, you will find Dasya Rasa is more intense service than Shanta. Sakya is more intense, Vatsalya more, Madhurja more, and Radharani is most intense service. That is why Urjeshwari. We have to serve her during Kartik. Her service is most intense. So those who are her maidservants, they are getting most intense service of Radha Krishna. That is highest. But there is no quarrel with others because their center of interest is one. You can draw bigger or smaller circles, but there will be no crossing. And everyone likes their own. So there is no this material as happening here, envy and trying to get position and all. That is totally not there. There is only interest is service of Krishna according to his desire. So those who are karmis means enjoyers, and those who are jnanis, renouncers, they have no liking for this book because it speaks about 24-hour service of Krishna. As they have got no eligibility to enter, eligibility means qualification, to enter into the 8 periods of pastimes of Krishna in the transcendental realm, this book, Bhajan Rahasya, cannot become always very appreciative to them. They will not appreciate. Day and night, 24 hours, is divided into 8 periods. One period is stated as yam, or in Bengali, jam. Night consists of 3 jams, 3 periods. Day consists of 3 jams, 3 periods. Along with these 6 periods, if dawn and dusk are added, sum total 8 periods, because dawn is in between night and day, and dusk also is between night, means day and night. At that time, Nrsimha Bhagavan appeared at dusk, neither day nor night. So night, 24 hours, 3 during day, 3 during night periods, and dusk and dawn, 8. Ashta Kaliya. Ashta means 8, Kaliya means periods. Kal is time. That is Ashtakalya Leela. It is possible only for a Vaishnava to worship Shri Krishna all the time, in all respects, with profound devoutness. Some may serve Krishna for some worldly benefits, so he will serve. When that will be fulfilled, then worship will stop. Jnani will worship Krishna thinking that is Brahman in this form, so he's worshipping to get liberation. Once he will get liberation, there is no worship of Krishna anymore. So only Vaishnava, that is one who realized the eternality of Krishna and his eternal relation with him, he can all the time constantly serve Krishna. With wrong conception of self, other than the real self eternally related to Sri Krishna, it is not possible to worship Krishna all the time. Not possible. A conditioned soul cannot release him from his engagement if he attributes materiality to all things or articles related to the service of Sri Krishna. So conditioned souls, those who are Jnanis or Mayavadis, they want liberation. So they think this attachment to this world is giving us unhappiness. So we have to be liberated from this so that we will get the bliss of self, Atmarama. So they want to reject everything of this world. All is Maya or non-eternal, all this, they want to reject everything. But they also reject Tulsi. Tulsi appearing in this world, they will think it is material, but it is not. They will think Prasad is material, it is not. It appears in this world, but it is transcendental. Vrindavan Dham, Bhagavatam, Vaishnava, they will think all this is material, but they don't know they are transcendental. Everything in relation to Krishna's service, they are all transcendental, is paraphernalia. So they will reject. So they cannot actually be liberated from this world. Not possible. Because only by taking shelter of Krishna, one can come out of Maya, so they cannot. They are committing this offense. They will think, Diti, this is material. It has a form. Whatever has a form has got limitation. And absolute is all present. Diti is only in one place. They cannot see, so they reject. This is material also. They cannot be liberated. Vaishnavas, having the firmness of the realization of their real self, are always in worshipful mood, because I am of Krishna, I belong to him, I am his eternal servant. So they are always worshipping him. Krishna is eternal, I am eternal, worship is eternal. They cannot do any action except service of Shri Krishna. But we see Vaishnavas, they are not 24 hours chanting Harinam. They go to market, they go to bathroom, they go to sleep, they speak with others. How they are always serving Krishna? We don't understand that. Everything they are doing for Krishna. They are taking rest for Krishna. They are going to market to buy for Krishna. They are speaking with others about Krishna and to engage them in the service. All they are doing for Krishna, 24 hours. And while doing these services all the time, chanting is also going on inside. Not always on mala, all the time going on. And in their transcendental realized state, they are always assisting Radharani in Leela. They are always engaged in the service, even when sleeping. Atma does not sleep. This body, material body, needs sleep and food and all this, but Atma does not require. So they are on Atma platform. They are serving from there all the time. But conditioned souls, we cannot understand how this is. We may hear and believe and try to imagine But practically what it means, we have to come to that platform. 8 verses of Shikastaka. So here, they cannot do any action except the service of Krishna. All the time they're engaged in the service of Krishna. No any other action possible. 8 verses of Shikastaka of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu are in conformity with the pastimes of Sri Krishna of the 8 periods or Ashtajam. 8 verses means Shikastaka. 11 verses of Sri Rupa Goswami and hymns written by his personal associates to increase eagerness of bhajan, conforming to 8 pastimes, will be congenial for incessant bhajan. 11 verses has 2 meanings. One is Upadeshamrita, which we have to read during Kartik. There, Rupa Goswami has shown once when Mahaprabhu was in Puri, he was in Samadhi, seeing all Leela and serving. Then when he came in middle consciousness, semi-external, he spoke what he saw. And he also gave instruction to those present how they can attain that. Rupa Goswami heard that. And in his own words, he wrote Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction. There he has shown what one has to follow, all the instructions, up to 7th verse. It is in regulated manner, as a Vaidi. You have to give this up, you have to accept this properly, and in a regulated way you have to do Shravan Kirtan, 7th verse. 8th verse starts Raga Bhakti. You have to follow Brajabasi, and then Radha Kunda, highest Radharani, all is there. So that we have to follow if we want to attain service of Radha Krishna Lila. We have to follow. And also he wrote another about some in brief about Ashtakalya Lila of Radha Krishna. He also wrote in 11 verses, and also hymns. We are singing Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daita. All these hymns, and his personal associate, who is Rupanuga Bharayate, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Thakur. They are his personal associates in Golok Vrindavan. They wrote so many hymns. We have to sing those hymns. Which we are singing? We are singing of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Dekiaya Runodoy, Brinda Devi Besto. We are singing Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs describing Radha Krishna's 8-fold pastimes. We are singing during Kartik all the time. Because Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Bharayate. He is the best of the followers of Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari as Kamala Manjari. So he wrote 8 songs describing that Leela that we are singing. Whole Kartik. Only 1 more minute because I want to finish this introduction. 2 more minutes. Sincere servitors of Guru will always discuss these verses, being completely relieved from the influence of material time, space, and so-called deserving or undeserving persons of this world, qualified or unqualified. If he's a very rich person, he finished that university, all deserving or undeserving, he has nothing to do with this world, that devotee, who is completely relieved from the influence of material time. Beyond this material time is transcendental place. That is only present time. There is no pressure of this material time. Our real self is above material time. And Krishna is above material, Vrindavan, Vishnu, all are beyond. There is no pressure of this time. We are under pressure. But the real devotees realize they are under this above this material time. So they are always discussing these verses. Which verses? Shikastaka and these Leela verses. Ratrante Trashta Brinderito Bahu. That's that. Well, just that you will know. Ratriante trashta brinderite bahu viraveir bodhita ukira shari. Pader hide, these verses they will always discuss of Govinda Lilamrita and the songs of Rupa Goswami, songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Thakur, all the time, because they have no other business, they have nothing to do with this world. Every Shikastaka, when you will practice, it will reveal one Leela to you. First, will reveal first Leela. If you sincerely practice and you in sanctified heart, when you get that grace, then first Leela will appear. That we will hear tomorrow. So this was written by Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, 13 November 1927 in Kanpur, and his signature is Harijana Kinkar, means servant of the associates of Sri Hari, thus Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So this we have to understand. Bhajan Rahasya book, Mystery of Bhajan, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about that transcendental raga mark and giving some hints to us to know about that and to try to follow that. Only hints, it is not complete, no one can complete. So this we are doing during whole Kartik Vrata, doing this practice, and tomorrow I will read these few verses of Bhajan Rahasya which are relevant for our practice so that we can follow that, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur did and instructed, and Prabhupada and our gurus, because they are from Golok Vrindavan. They want to bring us to Golok Vrindavan. Kamala Manjari, Nayan Muni Manjari. There are some, they are against. Our Gurudev told, anyone has anything against Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, Nayan Muni Manjari, he will get nothing. Because he's a paraphernalia of Radharani. How you can disrespect or ignore or neglect or something, someone is a direct paraphernalia of Radharani. Not practicing, he came, sent by Radharani from there. So anyone who has anything against, he cannot enter Golok Vrindavan. Not possible. He has to remove that offense and accept the service of Radha Krishna in full, then he can. So we should not associate with such people who have anything against our Guru Parampara, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada, our gurus. We should not associate with them. That is not pleasing to Radharani, not pleasing to Krishna. So tomorrow we will go some verses of Bhajan Rahasya relevant for Kartik Vrata.